What up YouTube, Dark Dub coming at you from my redstone world once again. This video goes out by request. This is a dual read RAM for the Bedrock edition. So before we begin, I want to tell you that if you're going to do something really big with this, I would recommend everywhere there's a torch, have a jack-o'-lantern. So this block here would be a jack-o'-lantern. That way, when these change light states, it does not affect the processing power of your game. There's no lag created, let's just say. Everywhere there's a torch, so these be jack-o'-lanterns, and here maybe just this one jack-o'-lantern, because that one and that one would both be drowned out by the jack-o'-lantern there, but then in each different spot you would have them. So this would look a little bit different, but it would create less lag. So if you're watching this and you wonder what a RAM is, look in the description. There's a video for you linked there. This one I'm not really going to go over that. I am going to show you, however, I have a different set of 4-bit information in each of the registers here. I have nothing reading out of either line, up or below. I have nothing on the lines in, which are white, okay? Read 1 is yellow, read 2 is orange. The addresses would be black. Okay, so I come in, I can read this information, all like so, and if you'll see, nothing is below. Okay, and we can even leave that on there while we come over here and read these ones out. And these ones are a little harder to see from down here. But it's basically the same as above, just independent of above. So let's get to building it. Okay, so I'm starting out with 4 lines because I am going to have a 4-bit RAM. If you want more bits on your RAM, then have more lines, okay? First, we're going to come down with a block that is non-redstone conductive. Okay, I choose glass. The reason I'm making these ones non-redstone conductive is because we're going to have torches under them. Okay, the torch would power this block if it's a solid block, and that's not going to affect any of this redstone up here, but the less blocks you have powered, the better. And because this block is not needed for the build to be powered, we're just gonna take that out of the equation and make sure this doesn't get powered. Okay, so we'll place that there. Sorry if that confused. We'll place like this, and then we'll continue this on down. And because my RAM is going to have 4 registers, I have repeated that 4 times. Okay, each one of these is going to come up into a lantern. It does not have to be a lantern. Okay, I choose it to be a lantern just so I can see the state of the register. Okay, and then it's going to come up into a block with a torch on that, and that is going to come up onto the line. Okay, now I choose this color for my line. This is going to be line 1. Okay, so we'll go ahead and repeat this on all 3 of these, and then we'll repeat the whole thing on all 3 of these. This should leave you looking something like this. Okay, one thing I'm going to say is that it helps to regularly investigate, just peruse and look at things. Make sure everything's on 1 tick, and make sure you haven't accidentally broken any blocks anywhere. Make sure there's dust on everything that needs dust. So from this point, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and on these torches we're going to place blocks like this. And notice that I'm coloring it the same thing as that, because these are going to be the write or the read addressing, and we're going to place blocks on top of these, and then we're going to come out of the block with a repeater on each side. And then we're going to come up like that and this. Okay, we're going to do that with all of them like that right there. We're going to do the same exact thing over here on this side. And once you look like this, we're going to go ahead and connect each of these sides like that, and then throw dust along the whole thing from that set of repeaters all the way over to this set of repeaters. And we're going to do that to all of the registers. Okay, and with that part done, we're going to come over to wherever you have designated to be good for hitting every one of these, and we're going to come in with a torch, and I'm going to throw a lever on top of it so that we can activate it, and make sure that that torch does activate all of your repeaters in order to lock all of these torches in the off state. And then we're going to want to do that for all of these and test them and make sure that all of your repeaters are on the same number of ticks. Okay, so you'll see I put inputs onto the lines in. I put outputs on the first line out. I put inputs into the what is that? The read one addresses. Okay, so now we're going to do our write addresses. We're going to come over, you see where we're at the bottom here. You got your line in right here. You've got the torch that powers the lock to the repeater. This torch, not on this side of the torch that you can see, but on the side where you can't see the torch, we're going to come down like this, and we're going to put dust on there, okay? When that dust is powered, that block is powered, and that torch will change state. So we're going to go ahead and do this. To power that, you have to come in with a repeater on this side. And then we're going to come out one more here, which I'm going to make that glass. And then we're going to make the same thing for every torch on these lines. At this point, will look something like this, okay? The far end here, the last one that you go to, you're not going to need glass. Okay, you just need it for these ones because you're coming underneath. Let's go ahead and come down like this. And then we're going to bring that all the way across. And then right here, we're going to need one, and take that one out. Here, take that out. And then here, and you can take both of those out. Okay, and we're going to copy this pattern on all of them here. Okay, and with it looking something like this, make sure all your repeaters down here are on one tick, and then go ahead and place dust along the whole thing. Okay, and you'll notice that it does match up here. Now, anywhere along this bottom line that I give power to, it will power every one of those repeaters and all of those torches up above, okay? And that is just for your information when you're trying to figure out how to power all of these. Say you've got an 8-bit that you want to power. As long as you're powering this line at one spot, it'll hit all of them, okay? This point to over here is exactly 15. So if you give power to this block here, it'll hit all of them, which means that the very center of an 8-bit you could then hit. And if you've got this doubled with another one over there, you could then come over and power this about in the middle, bring a bracket down, bring that to a line that runs over and hits this other one at the same spot, and then you could power that line itself from the center. And that's how you would go about adding more, if I'm making any sense. But then we'll go ahead and throw the dust along the rest of these here, making sure not to miss any one of them. So here is those lines done. There's dust along all of them. I gave them inputs. Next we're going to go ahead and I'm choosing a different color for my lines, my second read line. Okay, we're going to come over and right underneath each of these lanterns we're going to place a redstone conductive block with a piece of dust. I'm also going to grab a buffer block, because everywhere you see the redstone do that, you're going to need one of these to block that off, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do that to every one of my lanterns here, which, if you didn't use the lantern, is every block that comes from the locking repeaters. Okay, so we've got all those blocks there. We've got the dust on all of them, and everywhere where the dust was interfering with more dust, we would place a buffer, as you see next to the 3 out on the side, but not the one on the very out side over here. Those didn't need buffer blocks. Okay, so we're going to come over here, and the whole reason for the glass there is that each of these is going to have a torch running off of it, okay? And we're going to go ahead and do a circuit off of this torch, okay? So we're going to bring this down like so, and we're going to come off of that and beneath like that, okay? We're going to bring one up. We're going to put a repeater there, a piece of dust there, and a piece of dust there with a torch there, okay? Now that right there is going to come off of each of these blocks. Now that we have this circuit right here at each of these, pay it a good mind, make sure you're not crossing over to this line in any spot, and that you have all the torches, all the dust in all the right spots. You don't have any blocks accidentally taken out. All of your repeaters are on 1 tick. So from this point, what we're going to do is we're going to come over to these torches right here. Okay, we're going to come down 1 and out 1 off of these torches, and we're going to bring this line all the way across all of the torches, okay? And then you're going to decide which side you want to have your output coming. Do you want it to come out the same side your input comes in, or do you want it to come out the same side as... So you just decide which direction, and then you extend it and place your output there. And we're going to do that for all of these, and we're going to place dust along those lines. We're getting to the very end of this. What we're going to do is we're going to come over, and each of these blocks that have the torch leading on to the lines, we're going to come below that like so, with a block with a torch on it. And we're going to do that to all of them. Okay, so now that we got this number here going on, we're going to connect these address lines up. So we're going to come off of each of these down like so. I'm going to bring that across until they connect like that. And we'll do that on all of them here. It should look something like this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead with a solid block. We're going to come down beneath this. We're going to, like that, take out the middle glass. And then like that. And these two, at least the inside one, has to be glass, because we're going to dust this all up, and that dust has to pass through. So either glass or a slab. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and bring this all the way over here. We will place a block there and take this glass out. Gonna dust this whole guy up. And now we're gonna make this on the rest of them here. Okay, so all of these down here are dusted up. Got their levers on them, their levers, whatever you want to call them. As you're going, make sure you test each and every one of these things to make sure that your signal is going all the way to where you want it to go. Same thing up here. That gives you a good idea of where to add your repeaters. And at this point our build is done. All we have to do is test. So I'm going to go ahead and write a different code over here to each one of these registers, and I'm going to do simple ones. Okay. Alright, so I've got a different code set to each. Let's go ahead and test top line. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the bottom line, which I did not wide up properly. Okay, and now the bottom line. All right, success. So if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It's been real. Peace.